Okay, a few questions on Mondays.
There's been a lot of speculation, Ralf, about Cristiano's future beyond this season, but you'll be in a consultancy role. What do you feel he can offer the team going forward? And I know you have immediate goals this season, but going forward in the development of the team, what kind of role can he play on and off the pitch?
Again, I think it was a top performance today by the whole team, and as I said earlier on, he made the difference, but right now it's again not the right moment after a top performance today to speak about what might happen in the next 15, 16 months. For me, it's important what happens in the next 3 months, 2 months until end of May. And again, everybody in this club, the fans, the players, the staff members, everybody wants to be part of that Champions League season after Tuesday. So we want to proceed to the next round and play in the quarterfinals.
But what's the influence like off around the dressing room, around the training ground, not just the goals and the performances on the pitch? Can you give us an insight into what Cristiano brings to the rest of the squad?
He's an important player, and of course, with his reputation and with the way he can still play, he has influence on the team for sure. But there are also other players in that team who have to take responsibility, who have to perform, who can be leaders of the team. He can be a leader with a performance like that today. And this is what I've been telling him since I arrived, that with a performance like today, he can be one of the engines of the team. But we have quite a few other players who can do the same, including Fred, including Harry, including Rafa, Victor, whomever. Even Eddie, when he came on in the last 10-15 minutes, showed how important, what kind of a role he can still play for the team. And I wish him to be available until the end of the season. It was a big shame and also not good for our team to not have him available in the last 6 weeks.
Okay, Neil and then James.
Cristiano's always thrived in the Champions League. You know, he's won it 4 or 5 times. Is that a key thing going into Tuesday, that sort of experience in that competition more than any other?
Yes, but today was Premier League and also for us almost a final. Had we not won today, it would have been almost impossible to finish 4th at the end. Now we're still not in the best possible position, but we're still in the race. But we're fully aware that we cannot afford to drop any points anymore, so we almost have to win all the games. But we are also aware that we have some difficult opponents to play in those 9 games. And for us today, it was more or less a final for the last 9 games in the Premier League. And on Tuesday, we have the next final in order to proceed to the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
But after occasions like this, can Man United fans dream that the Champions League could be won?
This is what I also like about this club. On Sunday, we were almost, I felt like on a funeral, and the team was already dead. And the end of the decade or whatever, it was. I felt like it's the worst team I ever coached. And after the 3-2 win against Tottenham, we are discussing about our chances to win the Champions League. I mean. Ask me that question, should we really reach the final of the Champions League? Then you can ask me that question again right now. I don't think it makes sense to speak about that.
Okay, last question, James.
Ralf, can you talk a bit about what you have helped to do with Jadon and what Jadon himself has done? Because he does look unrecognisable from his first 4 or 5 months of the club.
I disagree. He is now recognizable to the Jadon Sancho I've known since he was 18.
Yeah, no, I don't dispute that. I mean, as in obviously the transition, it was very difficult. But obviously,
I know.
And also just on, he seems to have struck quite a rapport. Certainly today with Cristiano, is Cristiano being quite beneficial to Jadon as well. Just took those things.
Yes, but this has also not always been the case, if we're honest, in the last weeks and months. And even before I came, Jadon Sancho now is getting closer to that kind of Jadon Sancho that I've known from Germany. And in the end, it's all about confidence, obviously. Game time, confidence, game time. And he was also, again, performing on a very high level. I also felt that Marcus was a lot better in that first 60 minutes he played. And yeah, this is what it's all about. We can only be successful as a team, and individual players. I mean, if you're not being successful, if you're not playing well as a team, tell me one single player in football who can still develop his own career. It's impossible. It's only possible with raising the level of performance of the whole team. And this is what happened today. And yes, with Jadon, as you know, when he was 17, I was trying to convince him to join us in Leipzig. Unfortunately, he decided to go to Dortmund, which was not the worst choice that he could make at the time. And when I came here, for me, it was clear that we have to try everything to help him to get the best version of himself. And the same, actually, I repeat myself by saying that is true for a player like Marcus Rashford, for example.
He's one of those players, Jadon, isn't he? You can see when he gets his tail up, he really gets the crowd going. He's one of those sort of thrill-seeking players. He really galvanises the crowd.
But this is what he should be. I think they paid quite a few pounds for him in order to lure him away from Borussia Dortmund. So if you pay that amount of money for transfer fee for a player, he should perform on this kind of level. But at the end, they're all human beings. So the mere fact that he cost a lot of money does not necessarily mean that he's playing on that level to start with. And he told me that of course it was a problem for him to get adjusted to the intensity of the league, to the physicality of that league. And I think now he has managed to do that. And yeah, I'm happy to see him play on that kind of level right now.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Bruno will be back on Tuesday, and Luke and Scott.
I don't know. With Scotty, I hope so, but he had some muscular problems with his calf. And that's why we decided to not play him today, because Scotty, quite like Fred, he's only valuable if he can perform with 100% of his physical capacity. And rather than playing him with maybe 80% and take the risk that he will be out for the game on Tuesday, we decided to not play him. Luke hopefully will be back in training tomorrow, and Bruno we will have to wait and see until Tuesday. This will be probably a last-minute race with him.
Is that COVID, or is he sort of COVID, Bruno? He tested positive.
What is it, Karen?
He did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but we have to be careful with those COVID tests, because with David it was the same. David yesterday was out. He was not supposed to play, but then it turned out that this first fast test was false. We took another 1 or 2 false quick tests, fast tests, and then a PCR test, and that was negative. So I only decided this morning that he was going to play.
Okay, thank you.
It's on Zoom. I was just on Zoom because you can only get 25 people in the room, but even less at count, and it all has to be simultaneous translation. So it's Zoom on Monday. Sorry? Theirs is just a few people, but there's not a lot of.
Is theirs on Zoom as well?
No, I don't think so, but I think they might beam it into the lounge, so you can hear it, but you won't be able to ask questions.
Right.
Sorry.
That's right. Thank you.
That's why we're doing ours on Zoom, to get more people in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What were you asking about this?
No, never mind. I'll read it on Monday.